What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Finally and at last, we have ended Real Housewives of Potomac. This is going to be a super quick video for part 2 of the season 2 reunion. And I am going to, run through this thing as quickly as possible. It really was nothing. And, before we get going really good with this thing, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. Go ahead and hit that like button. Lets YouTube know and lets me know that you like my content, as well as comment down below. What did you guys think of this part 2 of the reunion? It really was just so I promise this is going to be so quick. The guys are out now, the husbands are out. We talked to Ray, and Ray basically just co-signs on everything that Karen, all the lies that Karen has already told. He just co-signs on them all, and he doubles down on some of the things that he said to the ladies. For instance, with Giselle, he doubled down on that. And he also talked about his money, that, he hasn't had to worry about money since he was 17 years old, and he hasn't been broke since then. So he rejects that whole notion from Charrisse. He wasn't ugly or mean about it. He was kind of matter of fact. Y'all know the men don't get as up in arms as the women do. So it was all easy breezy. Um, and Karen, throughout this whole episode, she keeps doing this thing where she relaxes her mouth and then it drives me crazy, and it seems like something liars do. And we find out through this part 2 as well as part 1 that Karen is quite a little liar. She is quite the liar. We do find out quite by happenstance she had just turned herself around and around and wrapped herself up and down in so many lies. Bones just started flying out of her mouth. And turns out she did have a boob job. She had her implants removed. And I lost so much respect for Karen in this season, but this reunion part 2 really, 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 really just solidified that. And I don't think she should come back next season. I don't find her to be genuine. I find her to be an over talker, and she worked as hard as she could to be as dismissive as she could to Ashley, and I love the fact that Ashley wasn't having any of that. That whole little foxtrot thing she did around Giselle does not lie. When you part 1, you had just called Giselle a effing lie about you having work done. And Giselle had a couple of things that she really wanted to, honestly, as a longtime friend of Karen's, get off her chest there towards the end. And Karen would not let that, whatever that was Giselle was trying to tell, Karen would not let that come out. She overtalked, overshadowed, deflected, and caused such a kerfluffle. Kerfluffle. That's what my mom says, kerfluffle, that it never got answered. Giselle realized that she needed to be quiet because Karen was about to spin off its axis, and she was about to lose it. So, we talked to Chris. Chris acknowledged the fact that he was shocked that his mom was so nasty towards his wife. They had always heard her whispering, but they didn't know what she was saying. And although he's talked to his wife and his mom, and she's apologized to him, she has not apologized to Monique, which I'm sure she probably saying to herself, "I'll go to my grave before I apologize to that." Has she been to the new house? No. Is she welcome? Yes. Monique said no, and then she had to lie she was kidding, but she not. You might as well just be quiet about his mama, because until she leave this earth, he gonna always have to take her side. That's just the way that it is. It's about respect, and if he wants any prosperity and longevity in his own life, that's what he gonna have to do, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just the way it is, Monique. So suck it up. They they're very uneventful. We got to Robin and Juan, and I'm just gonna read you exactly what I wrote about Juan after listening to that whole little interview process. Juan is just as slippery and obtuse about he and Robin's marriage as she is. They are either two of the dumbest onions on the planet or diabolical geniuses in this reality TV game. I call bullshit with the kids, the whole kids thing. Now, let me tell y'all why I say they either dumb as a bag of onions or they are diabolical geniuses, because they have kept us on the in the loop, or on the ropes about what's been going on in their relationship. Um, all season now for 2 seasons, and we still do not have anything concrete that we can say. They are actively working together to keep this money and this storyline going at all costs. I don't think that they are together at all. They are just trying to do this show long enough to pay their bills off. That is what I think, and I think they are both going to go about their separate ways after they do that. That whole little soapbox speech that Robin gave about the kids and single parent homes and all of that. Your kids are still pig boys. They are still you know, you know, not great examples of a proper upbringing, in my opinion. The way those boys talk to you, and how wild and crazy they act. The way they talk to you just definitely gives me an idea of how their father talks to you. I don't care what anyone says. And if you think that situation between you and Juan is helping your boys, then the land of delusion is a beautiful, beautiful place, obviously. That is all I'm gonna say about the whole Juan thing and Robin thing. This is my last time talking about them, and I promise I'm going to leave some comments on some of my other reviewers' pages about it. But after that, I'm just completely done with this, because what I'm not gonna do is be led down a rabbit hole, and I'm not getting nothing for it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get no money for this show. And I feel the same way about them now as I do reality TV. I'll watch y'all, but I'm not wasting my time reviewing it, or talking about it, or tweeting about it. I'm not doing that. Y'all find somebody else for that bullshit. Um, Ashley and Michael have been separated for 3 months. The ladies all acted as though they were just so shocked and they were rooting for her and all of that. And Michael called bullshit on them. He really did. He told them that he didn't believe that they, cared about Ashley at all because of how they behaved. And he really kind of came to bat for her, and he explained that whole argument they had about the restaurant was about her inviting the girls. I don't know how that caused that giant fight, but okay. Um, and the ladies wanted to know, especially Robin. Robin was trying to kind of get under Ashley's skin, but Ashley seems like she's an open book about the relationship. Who moved out and who left who, and do you have a prenup, and all of this old crazy stuff. And but y'all still care and y'all feel bad for her, right? All right, okay. So there was a lot of shade with that. It kind of sounds like Michael wants to let Ashley go so she can grow up a little bit. It sounds like he is tired. He has come to the end of his rope with this relationship and just trying to keep up with it. He wants something different, something probably slower pace, knowing him. Charrisse about her and Eddie, they're divorcing. She filed the paperwork, and of course she gets her moment to shine, and she decides that she is going to start cutting ninjas low. So she's told Ashley, she made a comment about Ashley and her husband going to gay clubs, which I think we kind of already called out. Ashley's man, Ashley's husband, for uh, uh, being a little suspect. I'll just say that. So that was no surprise. And Ashley admitted that she was like, yeah, um, and then Karen with old blue eyes. When I tell you that guy on Karen about All the things she said during the season, especially on that Bermuda trip, she backpedaled. She was just as squirmy and non-committed and just lying, just foolish, crazy lies. She was all over the place, but Charrisse and Giselle kept on her, and it really just exposed her, not through information, but it exposed her through her own behavior. The way she was acting, you can tell that Karen did not want them to talk about this old blue eyes guy, who evidently is her driver or her. She was like, people say those rumors, and Charisse asked her, "Where the pictures at? You got pictures of me and the fireman? Where the pictures at?" Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to reveal that because you're a liar. And it was so unfortunate. But that is it for Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't even remember what they mentioned that they were currently doing now. This season was a huge bust in my opinion. I don't think that they should come back for a season 3. I don't think it's necessary if they do come back for a season 3. I definitely think Karen Huger should go. I would love, love, love to see, um, some more married people, some and more people that actually have lived in Potomac for a minute, a little bit more familiar with the community of Potomac. If they're going to bring it back, if they're going to bring Robin back and Karen back, I'm not reviewing it next year because Karen has decided that she's not going to be honest and truthful, and Robin has obviously decided that this is her storyline. I find it exhausting, and I don't want to play anymore. Um, so yeah, that was Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm glad it is over. I hope that Bravo saves the money on this leg of the franchise and just do away with it. We don't need it. We need something else. I wouldn't mind seeing the girls in Miami come back actually. But that's it from you guys. That is Real Housewives of Potomac, the reunion, season 2, part 2. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening and a great week. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah. I'll holla.